Hi everyone, welcome back on Adobe Live, and we're still live streaming from San Francisco about UX design and Adobe XD. And you already know him. He doesn't need any introduction anymore. He's like a live stream superstar, Mr. Talin.
I just appreciate you always having me on.
No, I mean,
Chaize.
it's my best streams ever, every time. Just love it. So, Talin, you want to explain what is your role?
Yeah.
And what's happening these days, like today?
Yes, for those who haven't been watching us on our previous editions of our stream. So I'm Talin Wadsworth. I'm the lead designer for Adobe XD, and today's a very exciting day, I know, for many users. And it was after layers was probably the most asked question: when will we have a Windows version of XD? And as Michael is pulling up on his Surface Book right now, this very, just beautiful UWP app on Windows 10.
Can you show my
it's amazing.
Windows
XD, Adobe XD on Windows 10.
Yeah, here we go.
It looks so good.
My God, I have all my tools.
Right there. Design mode, prototype
Right
mode. So exciting. And again, this is a UWP app. This is brand new from Adobe. This is kind of our first sort of diving into that world, that new Windows 10 world. And it's exciting. Wow. It's exciting to see it back. Let's see it on
And I have the trackpad here working.
Looks good.
I mean, when did we release XD? It was in March, right?
We released, it was March this year. We released the first version of Mac for Adobe XD. And of course, we've been doing monthly updates. And this month is probably our biggest update so far with launching.
Oh, you think so? Yeah.
Well, I mean, Windows is a whole new platform.
Yeah.
For XD, it's amazing.
So, what is maybe because you were telling me that it's also a first in terms of technology for Windows.
Yes.
So that's why it's only on Windows 10. Because we are building this on a specific platform.
Yes, the Universal Windows Platform is what.
That's the name. So Universal Windows Platform.
It's Windows' new generation of apps, and these are the apps that are really. Are going to be available almost on any platform that Windows is on. You'll be able to use XD. The surfaces and the big studio, sitting on the studio is amazing. And so this is a whole new platform. And again, this is the first Adobe app to really be on this platform as well. It's really exciting.
And so you wanted to maybe share with us, like in terms of features. So this is a brand new version, and it will be like the Mac version. Like every month we will update. And that's nice.
So the real goal here is for us to. This is the goal is that it's one platform. It's one app, right? And it just happens to live on these different platforms. And so it's going to have eventually, maybe not right away, but it's going to have all the same features, and we'll be releasing them all at the same time on both platforms. It's a huge challenge, huge undertaking for an amazing team to make this happen. I mean, this is just a stellar amount of work here.
Cool. I'm just playing with it, and in terms of performance, I mean, it's. I guess you have the same mandate, like you want really something to perform very well and have all the features, drawing, prototyping. Yeah, so just you have all the artboards. I mean, you can recognize exactly. Yeah.
And if
the experience you have already on the.
You design on Mac. You come over to Windows, you open up the same file.
It's the same.
It's going to be the same.
Okay.
That's the real goal. Again, like this is the same.
So you can have
the
designers.
Same engine that runs XD on Mac is running it here on Windows 10.
Okay, so you can have like designers working on Windows, other designers working on Mac, and just exchanging files. And also at Adobe Max, we unveiled that we want to have Adobe XD files in the cloud. So this should be also possible, like live collaboration. I'm on Windows, you're on Mac, and we work together.
Totally.
It's the reunion of Mac and Windows users, thanks to Talin.
Yes. Oh my
goodness. And the XD team.
No, thank you to the phenomenal XD team. The group of engineers and product managers and QE and designers to make this happen it's an amazing amount of work. So I'm just so happy to see it out in the world.
It says it looks so Mac. So actually, if you look at the Mac UI, and now we will switch back to Talin's computer because we will work on the Mac. But it's exactly the same UI. I mean, you're in charge of the design, so I guess you pay attention to these details.
Yes, we do. And our goal is to really to make it look like an Adobe app. And of course, there are going to be differences. Michael, even you showed the little menu bar. Like, there's going to be some things that are different, but our real goal is to bring an Adobe experience to both of these platforms.
And I know that something you are working on also for the Windows version is to have a touch-enabled UI.
Yeah.
Because that's a big difference, between Mac laptops and Windows ones, you can use the screen, the pen, and
I miss it when I go back to this.
yeah, because you're getting used to it.
Man, like over here, and then I go back and try and touch this one. It doesn't work. But
That's cool.
yeah, really exciting. I mean, this is a huge day. Like I said, like it's amazing to finally.
Yeah,
see
no,
that
so
there,
we had so many friends in the chat today, saying, yeah, but I want XD on Windows. Like it became like a reflex.
Yes.
And said, no, it's released. It's
there. So just the JR had a question.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good question. It's one that my group especially.
Good question, JR.
So XD is really the first of a whole new range of applications that we're working on, new tools, and hopefully when you start seeing some of those like Nimbus and Project Felix, you kind of see those getting out into the world, and some of the others, of course, we can't talk about. You'll start seeing more of the other ones start look a little bit like XD.
A new generation of Creative Cloud apps.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So Talin will be with us, and this is the first 3 days.
3 days.
Same time for 1 hour. He's very busy, so please say thank you to Talin in the chat, because it's a unique opportunity to engage directly with the XD team. And you want to do something special.
Oh, we're going to do something cool today.
And this is how you work every day, so that's funny.
Yeah.
We're going to design and prototype a feature of one of the Creative Cloud application.
For XD.
Yeah.
For XD. So we're going to take one of I kind of initially put a call out to see what people were interested in seeing.
Okay.
But I got, so there's a lot of, people give me a lot of great suggestions, and I'll just say, those are all on the roadmap. And today I wanted to do something with Michael, a little fun, really kind of stretch ourselves. And because, we're really starting to really plan the future of XD, right? We're building the stuff that designers need to do their work and work at, design at the speed of thought, the sort of goals that we have for everyone. And we're doing all of those and working on all those. And I was like, well, let's take a break and let's think about what's happening maybe a little bit further down, or something that I have this really favorite feature in Illustrator, because I was a huge Illustrator user. And so there's this feature that I thought maybe it would be fun for us to actually conceptualize and design and prototype it, in the time over our 3 days. So take this really great feature in Illustrator and design it for Adobe XD.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the name of the feature?
All right. So the name of the feature, and I don't know, you got to be a really deep Illustrator user to know this. So I'm going to be impressed, whoever knows about this one. But there's this feature inside of Illustrator, and it's buried up here underneath the edit menu. It's called Recolor Artwork. So I'm actually going to, this is a little illustration that I worked on in a previous area of my career. But up here in Edit, down here there's this little menu called Edit Colors. And inside that, there's this really amazing feature called Recolor Artwork.
Yeah.
And when you click on Recolor Artwork, it brings up this really unintuitive, I'd say.
Highly technical.
Yes, highly technical.
From the print industry.
Panel.
You know what I mean?
Where basically what you can do with one click is recolor your vector art. So here I am just basically seeing and trying out all these different color themes on my illustration.
Nice.
And I haven't had to do anything else. It's amazing. Ronaldo, he knows what I'm talking about. Ronaldo in the chat, man.
And do you use the wheels sometimes?
Oh no, I don't know. I mean, that gets pretty deep. I mean, again, there's so much stuff in here. Yeah, do show the wheel. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff in here.
So that's the wheel. Oh my gosh. So it will map everything, and what you can do is link or unlink all the cars. But if you link it, it will, keep the proportion, keep the dynamic between.
See, look at this. I don't even know this, and I've used it a lot. There's so much in there, man.
So much.
There's so much. And what I would do, what I found, and these guys know, what you end up doing is oh, okay, I really like this illustration, but my client would want to see this maybe a couple different ways.
Yeah.
So, what? I can't move those objects? You're crazy. Okay, well, I don't know.
Which tool do you have? You have the move tool? Yeah.
Yeah, let's just do this. Oh no!
Oh, you want to duplicate the artboard?
Hold on. I actually think this. I was pulling up a very old file, and I think that's what it was.
Oh, I see.
All right, let's try this again, shall we? Show that I'm... Oh no, is my Illustrator broken? Okay, well, we're not going to do that. Okay, so I'll just use this. So basically, what you would do to try different colors is you'd copy and paste, and then you would go in there and you'd swap out the colors, right, one by one, and it just took you a long time. And usually, like a client, we'd be showing a client like a close to finished piece of work, and they'd want to see a bunch of different versions of colors, And so back in the day, I would go to Cooler, now color.adobe.com, and I would, either find the most kind of like popular color schemes, or I just kind of browse through here, finding like really cool sets of colors, and I would download them all as .ase files.
Yeah.
I'd load them inside of Illustrator, and then I would just, select all, and then I would go to Recolor Artwork, and I would just
select the
and then just
theme.
select the theme, and just play around with it.
So it was your workflow.
Yeah, this was like totally my workflow back in my studio design days. And it was just so cool. And it was like, when we started thinking about ideas for XD, and we really kind of landed on this idea that we wanted designers to, design at the speed of thought. That was really like our catchphrase very early on. It was like, how could we, again, just like make not only fun, but kind of playful? How could we bring some of that, fun playfulness to design? That you kind of miss when you get kind of locked into like, ooh, I don't want to change this too much because then it's gonna be a lot of work to get back to it.
And now Ronaldo Serrano is depressed because he had to work on Recolor pet food packages, and he just discovered the tool. Yes, sorry, Ronaldo. So we should ask our friends in the chat. So would you like to see this kind of feature for Adobe XD, like UX design project?
Yeah.
Do you think it would be useful? I have an opinion, but
Bradley,
someone would say, no, it's useless.
It's not in Photoshop. It's an Illustrator specific feature.
Yeah, it's in Illustrator.
It's buried in this thing.
In Photoshop, it's tough because now you have vector objects, but at the origin with Photoshop, there is not that much color information. It's just pixels, so you would just use the color picker to grab the color from pixels. With an average algorithm to pick the right color. But in Illustrator, we are just dealing with objects and fill and stroke color, so that's why it's possible in Illustrator. But in XD, the good news is that everything also is based on vectors and SVG, so we could have this feature. Okay, I think they are interested in
They're in it? They're into it?
Yeah.
Okay, they're into it.
They want color swatches.
Right.
Yes. And okay, so you will see how Talin works, how his brain is connected
there you go.
To
also,
design a new feature in XD.
And also a little bit about our process. I mean, this is really where our process starts, is we go out and we talk to designers and we get their feedback. Like, what would you like to see in XD?
Yeah,
this is really where it starts.
We showed it this morning, how to vote for a feature, because we talked about the ruler with Emily. So we saw that you already have like more than 500 votes for the ruler. So maybe you should consider it. I'm just saying. But yeah, this. But also, as we were working, we were like, oh, we have the measurements, so maybe we don't need the ruler. So always a struggle.
Yes, and today I also wanted to like purposely, we've got a lot of plans for a lot of end designs for features that we've heard from users, and so today I wanted to do something a little more playful. Rulers, we all need rulers to do our jobs, but this is one of those things where it'd just be fun to be able to, if you have like some of our, you had your app design, and you're like, let's try that in a different color scheme.
Let's show again a sample we have on Windows, just to see. Yeah. So this is, by the way, this is the Dishi app that you can download. It's one of the samples that you can find on Behance. If you type Dishi Adobe XD, you will find a link to the sample. But that's typically an app that has been designed with a color theme in mind.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I think we're
maybe
use
this
that
is
the
Christmas edition. I don't know. And let's say you want to customize the app, or you are a studio and you do the same kind of app for another customer with another brand, and you want to recolor automatically everything and try different color themes. That would be a great example. And look how fast this is running on Windows, guys.
So good.
Since this morning, Adobe XD with the trackpad.
Man, I need a studio now.
The studio, yeah.
So this is where it starts for us.
How would you start?
So we start with research. That's really where we start.
That's the first step,
right?
Okay.
So we're doing this real-time research. So we're talking to the stream, to the chat here, and then we're also doing the research. We've looked at the feature that we think that we really want to redo. We've seen how it works inside of Illustrator, and now what we want to do is really start thinking about, okay, well, where does this fit in a user's workflow?
Okay.
So if we think about the Dishi example, right, we have we're pretty much we're towards the end of being done, right? Like that's usually like
this one, yeah.
Right. So this kind of
yeah. Show it again.
Yeah.
I mean,
so here we are.
Yeah, it's already working.
Right, and we feel like we're in a pretty good spot. So we wanted to figure out when we're trying to fit this feature into XD, we want to figure out where does it live in my working, like as my day-to-day work. Like where am I going to go and find it? And so what we want to do is we want to probably start with kind of an initial kind of, basically like a flow. We want to think about, okay, what's our goal here? What we want to do is we want to select some artwork. So number one is that we need to select artwork in some way. And then number two, we want to
Refidoc has been inspired by the Dishi app to create its own prototype. Nice. Wi-Fi duck. That's nice. And by the way, there is a contest going on during 3 days. So we invite you to download XD on Windows and Mac and prototype an app. So they have to solve a problem, which is planning holidays.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem they have to solve, and they will start sharing their screens on Twitter, adding the Adobe Live hashtag. So all the rules are on Adobe Live. There is a contest tab, and feel free to share, just for the fun. But you can win Creative Cloud 1 year subscription, but also just for the fun of creating and sharing with us. That would be awesome. And it's a good way also to test what is design thinking.
Yeah.
You have a problem to solve, and it will be interesting to see what you create.
Yep.
So you have select.
So I'm sketching out like our basic workflow. Like when I'm in XD, how am I going to recolor this artwork? So we kind of go with what we know from Illustrator. We're going to select something. We're going to select our artwork, and then we want to basically hit recolor. And then from recolor, we want to decide, okay, where is the user going next? What do they want to do? So we could probably from here go a couple different ways. We could start with by doing themes, sort of connect it back to our cooler color, kind of color library story. Or we could go, sort of like my swatches. So these are the swatches that I've been building up and working on, right? Or we could go maybe from themes. We could actually go a little deeper here and say, maybe from themes we want to do. Maybe I want most popular. Maybe the thing
something user generated.
If we look at how I still love one of my favorite things about color.adobe.com is that you can go out there and creating a color theme from scratch is actually kind of a challenging thing.
Oh, it is.
So from one of the cool things that I would just do when I'm just sort of just kind of trying to see some different things, that I'd go out to color.adobe.com and start seeing the most popular, what's out there, what's trending right now. So maybe that's the thing that we want to bring and really allow users access to. What if you could actually go into XD and actually at any time sort of see the most colors, the most popular
start
colors
with
out
some
there.
inspiration.
Yeah, right.
That's good.
So, or we could go, or again, from themes, we could go into.
And by the way, we had questions this morning about the UI kits. Because I'm not sure if it's in the Windows version. Okay, let me check. Maybe not, but
should be there.
Oh no, it's
not
it's
there
grayed
yet.
out. So
okay.
so it's coming because
it's coming
there's
soon.
already a menu item. But anyway, you can. What I do now is that I go on the web, because I saw that Facebook, for instance, shared a design kit for XD. So, and basically these are projects, XD project that you can download and just open them, such as the Dishi app. So make sure you go on the web and you will find some very good design kits.
Yep. All right.
Most popular, most used.
Yep. So there's my stuff. There's the stuff from the community, right? This is, we'll just say color.adobe.com. Oh, sorry guys, my handwriting is terrible. All right. So we have kind of two paths here, right? And the goal is for us to, at the end of it, go from having, one piece of artwork to then being able to sort of see quickly a couple of variations.
A preview?
Maybe that's kind of what would be really cool. Wouldn't it be cool if you could select something and instead of, you want to see it update live in Illustrator, and that's cool, but what if you wanted to be able to compare these? Is that one of the things we want to do? Is maybe we want to do this, but then we want to compare, and maybe we want to choose. Maybe that's actually pretty. I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you want to see it do it on your document in real time, or would you like to see show me 3 options? Hey XD, here's my artwork. Show me
Yeah.
show me some options.
So that's 2 options for you, friends in the chat. Do you prefer, to have
a little more
modifications?
manual?
Yeah, manual, real time, like in Illustrator now, or suggestions by the app.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe it will inspire you, and you can maybe fine tune the one you choose afterwards. Okay, Nico says that comparing is an awesome idea.
Yeah.
Okay, compare. Okay, interesting.
I think we're getting some good feedback.
It's a discussion, you know. So if you disagree, just let us know and explain why. There is a pattern like this in Adobe Spark.
That's
In Post, when you create a post, there is a remix button that will grab some themes and just remix everything. Maybe we could have a remix.
That's actually, there you go. See, I like this synergy that we have going on here. So then maybe instead of calling it Recolor, we're going to rename it.
And they say both. So of course, like comparing, once you choose a design, then we expect us to be able to switch to a manual mode and adjust the colors, because that's what they say. They need both. You want to be able to sort of quickly, see your artwork in new ways. You see your app design in new ways, and then we want to fine tune. So we want to compare, and then we're going to fine tune. So we please everyone.
Yes, we cover our bases here. All right. So now we've kind of
Pavel is asking. There is now layers in the Windows version. So this is something that is coming. So again, Windows, the team had to work like a lot to make it happen on this platform. I think it's so. What's the name again? Universal
Windows Platform.
Windows Platform.
Yes.
UWP. Okay, so I think it's the biggest app ever developed in the history of Microsoft Windows on this new platform.
I mean, outside of their own apps. I think outside of, again, like I think if you look at the Windows platform, they've been taking all their core apps, Explorer, and Notes, and all that stuff, and creating those. But XD is really like one of the first flagship app from Adobe to be on UWP, but actually one of the first big third-party apps
app developed by another company than Microsoft. So now we are happy we have this first foundation, but of course now the team can work on the foundation, and of course they will add layers, they will add all the features that we have on Mac today, and at some point in 2017 will be on par.
They'll come together. When we are planning, again, the way the team has been working is bringing everything up to the same level, same features and everything, and then of course adding all the new features as we go. So but it's coming along. I know it looks really good. I'm really excited about it. All right, so here we are. We have kind of our initial flow, and my handwriting was terrible. Oh, there you go. That's a good suggestion, Nico, about basically have the colors that you're using, like, do you want access to them like after you've applied and tried this new thing? Could you go back to like a and see those colors, and if you change them again, if you want to do those tweaks manually, then see them change everywhere.
Everywhere.
That could be really cool.
So that would be something in Illustrator. It's called global colors.
The global colors.
That would be the concept of global colors for XD.
Yep.
And I think it's essential in this case.
Yeah. Let's jot a little note over here to us.
If you don't know what global color is in Illustrator, is when you have a swatch of colors, you can right-click on the color and say this color is global. And every time you will apply it on an object, if you change the global color, it will change it on all the objects.
Really powerful.
And so this is something now we start having with symbols in XD.
Symbols,
I can have a symbol like a menu item, and if I change the color of the symbol, it will be changed everywhere.
Yeah.
But
this would be for like a swatch, so like a color that I've used in
that
my...
would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be really... All right.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
All right.
What do you think to mix in type? Typography.
Type, yes.
Oh, interesting, Enrico.
Could be the same. Could be,
maybe. Part of the tool, like an option.
Yeah.
Remix typography.
I think that could be nice too. Like, show me a list of options. Plus, we could say like type kits. So maybe we might not get to it, but we're gonna keep it in our mind.
Yeah. Just
we're gonna have this.
Write it down.
We're gonna have this other one over here.
And Lee McLennan say we should be able to export the swatch file, or maybe share the swatch, the colors with other designers.
So we want to fine tune, and then from here, we probably first want to share our design. That's probably one, right? Like we want to share, but then we want to be able to share that to
and share the design
any
elements.
number of people. And those design elements to a number of people.
Interesting.
All right.
Good.
All right. I like everywhere the chat is leading us on this one. This is great.
This is very good input.
Okay, so we're going to start. One of the things that that we kind of do here in planning out a very complex app like XD is that you want to have a really clearly defined use case, how we want to make it really focused, right? Because when we sat down and we were going to design, we were going to figure out what XD was. We had a feature list that could have just gone on forever, right? And at a certain point, when you're developing whether it's your product, and particularly trying to get to that first prototype stage, it really helps to focus.
Okay.
To really choose and really basically whittle it down to a core nucleus, we'd call it, of our idea. What are the 3 things that are really going to make this a really amazing feature? Because that'll give us focus and help us prioritize. Because
again, you start from the nucleus, and then your mind thinking is that I will extend more, but you want to start with core features.
Yeah, because our idea is to really validate with users the core feature.
The core features, and then you start adding layers.
And then we added that. So if we kind of look at this, so let's just kind of on the fly here, what we'll do.
So here, you would take this, for instance, and say, what are my core features?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. They say, okay, we could go anywhere. Eventually, maybe we might support all of these things, but what are the pieces of this that really tell, the story?
Okay.
Right? And so I'm gonna use a color, and we're gonna basically cross off the things that we don't feel are going to be core to the story that we want to validate with users, because that's really important. Again, before we go and invest all this time and money into developing this thing, we want to make sure that we're on the right track. Right? That's really key. In any product process. So here, as we kind of go through here,
Brad is asking. I'm a newbie. That's fine, Brad. No problem. Do we have access to CC libraries? Actually, it's a very good question, Brad.
It is good.
So this is something you're working on, right?
Yes. Maybe dovetails very nicely with what we're working on here.
When you are nice with Talin, he tends to sneak what's coming in XD.
Yes, I'm looking for feedback. Right, so, and again, whether it's CC libraries or any feature we're trying, again, this is a very complex application. There are a lot of moving pieces here. So we want to say, okay, we want to test our core idea here. And our core idea here was to see my artwork in a bunch of different variations very quickly. And I think our core idea was color. So I love the type idea, but I'm going to maybe table the type idea for now.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Because I think that, again, it's a very similar. It would
experience.
Fit. Yep. It would fit right in here. We
want to validate first the experience with colors, and then
because it's very visual. Most people would be like, oh, this thing was red, now it's green, and that would be a very big visually. That'd be a really big impact. And I think type sometimes, as you could change from one sans serif to another sans serif, and they could be very similar. You don't see the same visual impact. And so I think when I'm thinking about the prototype that I'm doing, I'm not designing the whole feature yet. I really want to tell a story, and I really want to tell the story well enough that a user can give me really valuable feedback. Because if I haven't done that and I've kind of confused it and I've asked them to look at too many things, it can.
That's interesting.
I maybe start going.
You want to make sure he can feel the impact. If there is no impact,
yeah.
So what do you think about the features?
Yeah. And it really
I went from Avenir to Gotha. Didn't see the difference, or from Arial to Helvetica.
Yeah.
And no one could notice, except very good.
Yes, those are all. So, my job as the lead designer here at Adobe, one of my things has been storytelling, and so over time here, I've pitched a lot of new product ideas, and I've seen a lot of product ideas kind of fall flat, or I've seen whether with, customers or designers or executives. And so I've become really obsessed with honing my story and telling the really tight, because again, that's the way things get done. That's the way things get validated, and the way things get really, I think, kind of going to move quickly. So.
Maybe we can ask, talking about storytelling, we will ask our friends in the chat, what would be the best name or the title to pitch this story. So let's say Talin, he will go and see the Adobe CEO. He will, hello Shantanu, I have this idea. And yeah, we need a name for this feature.
For this feature. A name.
They will find a name.
Yes, you guys work on the name. We need a catchy name for our new feature.
Yeah, we need to sell it to our CEO.
And a good name helps everything. So you guys are in charge of the name. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to focus on our core flow. And I think this is the really exciting part to me. Is this choose your own adventure style of design?
Okay, so we keep this.
Yeah, we'll keep that. And I think we want this to feel. I don't know if you guys. What do you guys think? You want it to feel more? I think we thought more magic first, less manual.
Yeah, that was what we were talking about.
So we're gonna take out my swatches.
Okay.
Right. I know what my swatches are. I've tried them. I need new, fresh ideas.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. Okay. So here we go. I think we're really honing in here on something. So the most popular, I think that's probably if I was looking for something. What do you guys think? Most popular or most used? What do you think would the community? These are from the community. So if you go to color.adobe.com, again, who's giving us the best? We know that we could find something that's going to look really good. I think probably I don't know.
Most popular.
Most popular.
Yeah.
Because you don't always get to the ones that are in use aren't always the best.
Yeah.
They're usually could be a compromise.
And you don't want to use the most used.
Yep.
You feel less unique.
Yep. All right. So
so there are some. Chameleon.
Chameleon. Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like chameleon.
I like it. Recolor. Color mix.
Color mix.
Colora. Nice.
Yeah.
Reflower.
Color shovel. Where does the color shovel come from?
That's nice.
What was the one we liked? Now it's gone.
Chameleon.
Chameleon.
That's good. Huh?
That's pretty good.
As a code name, for a feature.
Yeah.
This is something you can
chameleon.
sell to Chantal.
I think so.
He'll be excited by
again,
chameleon.
I want people talking about chameleon. Do we want people talking about chameleon? Color dumper.
How do you feel in the chat?
What do you guys think?
Good,
chameleon?
I feel it's good.
Project Chameleon?
Because it's mysterious. And
yeah.
You're like, oh, what is it?
Can adapt
and then
change.
You see the UI adapting as a chameleon.
Mm-hmm.
Adapting to its environment.
Yeah.
I think it's
All right. I think we're gonna go with Project
like
Chameleon here. Okay. Let's choose. That's a terrible color. I don't want that color. Okay. Project Chameleon. Okay, great. Okay, now let's see.
Yeah, they're okay with Chameleon. Okay,
you guys like Chameleon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we'll keep this.
Okay, so I think we want to be able to select our artwork. We're going to recolor or remix, and it's going to pull up the most popular themes from color.adobe.com, and then it's going to show me some options based on my choice. So as I choose color themes, it's going to actually maybe populate the versions for me. Mm-hmm. Maybe and I think this compare thing is probably really cool. Maybe for now we're going to put fine tune on the bubble. The fine tune part of it, because I can always
I mean that's
that could happen a couple different ways. Does it happen in this recolor remix workflow, or does tweaking actually happen in this global swatch component? Because I think that's the thing that's going to tie this whole thing together. Is really these global colors.
Color swatch is another feature. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not part of the Chameleon experience.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
No, we make it very official.
Mm-hmm.
It's not part of the Chameleon story.
All right, so we're gonna cross out the fine tune here. We're gonna say you're gonna come back maybe at a later date, and
the author of Chameleon is very happy.
Oh, good
job.
Good name. We would go with the K in Chameleon if it was still cooler, Kuler.
Yeah.
But
sometimes it's better to just be direct with names.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try to avoid the puns.
Yes, indeed. So that's what we're going to go with. And eventually this whole Chameleon story is going to link back to the idea of global colors, but we're just going to leave this off for now. So I think we've landed on a pretty great sort of first stab at this. All right.
Okay, so you would just focus on that, and then you would directly jump into XD?
Yep. So that's probably what we're going to do today. We could draw it out, but I think it's much easier to actually start doing this for real. So
do it.
Let's go over here. Okay.
And again, so we have something like 20 minutes still together, but you will be back tomorrow and also
Back
on
tomorrow.
Thursday, so we will improve with you this prototype.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna start with. We're gonna start with probably like this guy. Okay, so here we are starting from scratch. Tomorrow I'm gonna bring with us maybe a few more components and actually some of the UI that I'm designing XD inside of XD.
That you use all
Yep.
every day.
But first, we're just gonna nail again. We're gonna put together like the structure of our experience here. Just make sure we have the steps in place. So I'm gonna make this just a little bit smaller here. Okay. So this is our stand-in for XD right here.
So if you just joined us, so he's using Adobe XD, which is available today on Windows 2. And Ether, I mean, he works on the Mac, but I have the PC running here. And we just made a demonstration that now you can use it on Windows 10. And Drew is like, please drag some guides. That's a good one. We don't need guides.
We don't need guides.
I mean, you have all the visual helps in XD.
So here's our rough XD.
When our layers and symbols coming to Windows, very soon, Kelsey, we have monthly updates, so it's really on the go. Just about porting the code, I guess. I mean, classic.
It's essentially I mean, a lot of it's about. Again, there's some challenges as we go across platforms, just some new ways of working, and we need to
And I guess the team will get faster and faster.
Yeah.
And at some point, next year, everything will be in sync.
Yep.
Full parity and shoo.
Okay, so here I'm going to just add we're going to reference just kind of visually quickly just the dishy.
CC libraries, that would be nice. Yeah, Portugal use.
Yes, CC libraries.
I'm sure if you come back tomorrow and if you're still nice with Talin, he will show you something.
We might be able to. All right. Okay, so here we go.
Oh, can you avoid the full red?
Oh yes,
because it creates
I forgot about that.
The famous YouTube glitch.
Let's go with blues.
Yeah.
How's blue work for everybody?
Blue works.
Blue works. Okay.
Sorry for the glitch.
All right.
It's due to the video compression algorithm. They hate the full red. I don't know why. Really don't know why.
About the way in which it displays the spectrum of colors. Okay, so and then I'm just gonna make a little stand-in here.
So Matt B, thanks for joining. So we have Talin with us. He's designing a new feature for Adobe XD. I mean, we worked on it all together with the chat, and it's about recoloring your artworks automatically based on different color themes and pick the one you prefer to fine-tune it. And it's called the code name is Chameleon.
Chameleon. Yes. Okay.
And Jibril is asking, when is XD coming to Windows? Good question, Jibril.
Oh, I like Jibril, yes. So, as Michael has over here on his Surface Book, as you can see.
Oh, maybe we can do something fun here.
Oh, there you go. The POV camera. There it is. XD on the Surface Book.
Yeah, since this morning. You have it today, Jibril.
Okay. All right. So here's our stand-in. This is where we're going to start. This is our stand-in for XD right now. This is where we're going to start. Okay. So I have some dummy artwork here. So our steps are that we reference our sketch. We're going to select our artwork, and then we want to basically hit a button to say remix here. So we have a couple different pieces that we're working with, and so next I'm going to do. To make our prototype, I'm just going to jump to prototype mode real quick, and I'm going to say, all right, when I select this artboard, move over here. And then, of course, now we're going to set up and we're going to start designing what's going to happen.
So that's the prototype view.
Yep. Okay. So in the prototype view, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show kind of a selected highlight here. Maybe we'll try something a little different. Okay, so that guy gets selected, and then we're going to do some stand-ins for over here for our properties panel.
Yeah, thank you, Dajay, for sharing the link, but Nightbot wasn't happy, but I just fixed that.
Okay.
Oh, we have Will Patterson in the chat, who was on the stream with us from Paris. He's a lettering artist.
Ah,
and
lovely.
He said, "I'm not a UX designer, but it's so fun to use."
Oh, good. That's great. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Again, like if you want to tell stories in an interactive way, have you seen those crazy, like interactive memes that people have created with XD?
What?
Yes. Oh man, I gotta talk to.
We need
Lars.
to show them tomorrow.
Yeah, we do. All right.
Be back tomorrow for interactive memes.
There you go. Interactive memes.
Wow.
Pretty cool. I don't know if there's a tutorial on Lynda. Do you know if there's something up on Lynda for XD? I think there might be.
I can check. I can check.
No. All right. So once we have this selected, we want to show basically like let's just pretend like these are we're gonna have our normal.
They have some lessons and
great.
On Lynda.
So we have our normal
also
color.
On adobe.com, if you go to the CC Learn section, you will see free tutorials, and you will learn how to get started with XD. But I would invite you also to just download and install XD and open the Get Started sample. Getting
it's
started.
A great place to start.
Yeah.
You can design an app
Super
right
easy.
along with me.
And yeah.
All right. So here I am. So here we have. We're gonna make this really simple. So something is selected, something else happens, and then I have some new options. And one of those we're gonna start with. Again, we'll refine this later, and we'll definitely find I think a better place for this and eventually. But we just want to make this really clear for us early on.
Oh, and Zabadu is asking, is there a place where we can see other samples of XD work? Actually, if you go on Behance, XD is one of the you can search on Behance. Which is a social network for creative professionals where we publish all our portfolios, and you can say I want to search all the projects made with Adobe XD. It's one of the tools in the search, filter in the search engine, and then you will see what has been created by the community. And again, it's still a young product. We released the first beta in March of this year, but it's amazing to see the quality of prototypes that have been created.
Yeah, it is.
So that's how you say, I select my artboard.
Yes.
Then I see the remix.
Then I see the remix, right? Because that was really.
Now we will know all your tricks.
Yeah, this is a key part of our workflow here. I mean, this is how we start designing any features. We're like, okay, well, what's our workflow that we want the user to do? We want them. They have to select something first before they can recolor it.
That's true. Yeah.
Now we can come back and address that later on. Maybe you don't have to. Maybe it's just like a full-on recolor mode. But this one.
Workspace.
This one I think we're initially targeting we're doing like a very targeted recolor.
Yeah,
initially.
It's a task. I want to recolor.
Yeah, I said like we might change our assumptions later, but this is the story we want to tell initially. You have this artboard with some artwork on it. You select that artboard. There's a new remix button, and this remix button is going to launch us into this new chameleon experience.
Nice.
All right. Okay. So now we have those pieces. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this over here again. And we're going to start figuring out what do we need for the UI in Chameleon. That's really our next step. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this and we're going to make this white now, just to make it seem like, hey, we are now somewhere else. All right.
Because you clicked on remix.
Yep, because we clicked on remix.
Okay.
So in prototype mode, I'm going to wire this up real quick to go here. And of course, we always want a way to cancel. So let's just quickly add a little. We're gonna add some. We're gonna add
a back button.
Yeah, we're gonna add a little back button here. I'm just gonna put this up here real fast. Again, this is really just all stand-in. Again, we're just trying to tell a story here.
And link the prototype again.
Yep.
So with cancel, you can say back to the previous screen, right?
Back to the previous. Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna do that. Sorry, previous. I always forget that. Let's do that. Previous artboard.
Okay.
Awesome.
Maybe you can run the prototype.
Let's do it
once for people who don't know what this is. So you design your screens in XD, and then you jump to prototype, and you can link the screens. So now, if you click, I guess it will.
Yep. So now that I've created these interactive hotspots, so when you click on the artboard, you can see I have a wire that leads me over to the next artboard. So in the preview window, when I click on my artboard, it takes me right next to that next artboard, which is our selected state. So this is showing that the artboard is selected with the green highlight.
Nice.
And once I have it selected, I can see some properties. And most important, I see the remix button there for me. So then when I hit remix, our goal is to actually enter you into this place where you can see all like the most popular color themes from color.adobe.com, as we wrote down in our UX flow. And then that's kind of the next part of our story. So I'll hit remix. All right, here I am. I've focused.
Yep.
Yeah, we focused. We're gonna say this artwork. This is the thing you're gonna do something cool with. You don't have any of the other UI of XD because you don't need it because you've already done all your design. This is only about seeing your design with a fresh look.
Interesting.
All right. So this is where we're gonna add some of those color themes. Cool. So here's what we'll do today. Just kind of keep this thing rolling. And this is how I like to prototype really early on. Is that I'm here. I am on Adobe.com. I can go up here and see most popular. Right?
Here we go.
So, of course, we don't have access to this yet inside of Adobe XD, but hopefully eventually we will. And so what I'm going to do, actually, is I'm just going to take a screenshot of this. This is kind of a way that I think a lot of people like to sort of start working quickly. Is instead of me having to recreate all this, which I'll do to have more fidelity and more interactive control, I'm just going to take a screenshot.
Like a collage.
Yeah. All right, let's just do that again so I can just basically...
Nice. And yes, Damien is right. Damien is everywhere.
Here he is.
Yeah, here it is.
In fact,
you can share the prototype. Yeah, good point, Damien.
I have not mentioned yet, and we didn't mention it. There are actually some great features that launched for our iPhone and Android preview app today. So now... Maybe
we can show them tomorrow. But
yes, we're going to show them tomorrow. But I'll just say real quick, if you do have the preview app for iOS and Android, you can now have, if you have your XD files saved in the Creative Cloud files, you can now go and access those and then actually see your prototypes on your mobile device from anywhere. That's pretty exciting. So you don't have to be plugged in.
That's nice.
Yeah, so it's really cool. And Damien, he's in the chat.
Yeah.
He's our guy on mobile. He's our product manager for the mobile apps. So if you have any questions about the mobile apps, he's got a lot of great information.
Spam him.
Yeah, hit him up. So he's actually just recovering from knee surgery, so also wish him well. He's been working remotely, so definitely that's cool. So hit him up.
And Wi-Fi Duck, you're asking, can we get some feedback on the prototype you've made? So we will start giving live feedback tomorrow and on Thursday. Make sure you share the link to your prototype on Twitter, adding the Adobe Live hashtag.
Yep.
Okay, and then we will get the prototype, and tomorrow with Talin we will do some live critique.
Yes, definitely. And I'm going to put this link out tomorrow too. When we get this in a better shape, I'm going to put this link out, and I want all of you testing. You're my testers here. You're my group of amazing designers that are going to help me test this new feature that we're designing and building. So
nice.
It's really exciting. Okay, so here we go. I've copied quickly just some reference. So now I have basically the most popular themes on color.adobe.com. All right. So I'm quickly going to make a mask around this. Okay. So here we go. Maybe I want to move this over a little bit. So here's my artwork. We want that nicely framed. We want to see all of our themes here. And actually, I'm going to copy and paste this real quick and just kind of move these guys over. Again, like this part of the process is really all about just telling a story and getting it as close to real as possible. Close to a point where a user can give me feedback on this workflow.
Understand what's going on.
Yep, and so they say like, oh, that's great, we love it, or no, it doesn't quite work because of these reasons. We want to know all of that. So here's our screen, and we have some colors. We're going to call this out explicitly. We're going to say this
Kader is... said, how did you do the mask?
Oh yes, I can. Let me walk through that. I do this all day long. I forget sometimes.
So it's like super fast.
Okay. So here's what I did. I drug in my image. I drew a shape over the top of it really fast.
Like a rectangle, anything.
And then I selected both of them. And then up here in Object, Mask with Shape. There you go. And now if we go look at the Layers panel, it's actually nested them, made a nice little group here. And I can expand that and see both my image and my mask. So I can turn those.
It becomes a group.
Yep, it becomes a group automatically.
Nice.
So really flexible. Nice to have layers there. And maybe here we could give you access. We did say that there are other types. Maybe we just hint at it. Again, I want to sort of hint at some of these stories, so maybe just quickly we'll take the pen tool and make a little caret here. And say, maybe you could filter these. Maybe you could see some more. We're just gonna leave that there for now and say maybe that's something we'll explore in the future. Or again, one of the things that we do a lot of times when we're testing with users these very early ideas, when we don't want to go into all the deep workflows, we'll put a piece of UI in there that maybe hints at or says that maybe there's more here. And then we ask them, well, what would you imagine would be there? Like if you could see most popular and you knew it was a drop down, like Michael, what else would you like to see in there? What other things would you imagine we could browse to?
You mean beside colors?
Yeah, besides most popular.
Latest.
Yeah, latest is a good one.
Latest is a good one, Paul. Yeah. We did this really cool thing for the watch with color, where you could see it by region. You could say, "Show me the most popular in San Francisco."
San Francisco. That's nice.
That was really cool. That was a cool thing we did with the watch app. I remember. So.
Yeah, or you could have even a search engine for keywords. You know, like green.
Yeah.
You know, or anything like nature.
Maybe you could drag an image from your desktop and drop it onto there, and it would actually
extract the color.
Yeah, maybe do all that. Maybe show you ones like that. All right, all good things for us to remember. But again, we're going to focus. But again, we like to put in there those are kind of conversation starters.
Okay.
Right? Is like we could say if this is resonating, we could say, oh, what else would you like to see there? What other types of color themes do you imagine are out there you would find useful to your design process? So again, just other little things that we do to kind of again keep that conversation going, because that's the whole thing. We want to communicate so we can have a conversation about the feature and see, again, get to the heart of it. Like, there's what they call usability testing, which is just like, does this work for you, yes or no? And then there's like real research and user testing where you're really trying to build some context around what you're doing, and so that we may be off, we may be totally off, but if we ask you those questions, we might lead in a completely new direction based on your suggestion. So.
And David is talking about the noun project.
Yeah.
It's a way to find icons. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a good way. Also, there is we're showing with Paul that on Adobe Stock also you have now. You can license. Huge kit of icons.
Yeah, that'd be huge. All right. Yeah. Okay, cool. So here's to kind of bring this home here in the last few minutes that we have. So I'm going to basically just duplicate this whole artboard once again. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a choice, and we're going to see it change, our artwork change in some way. Okay?
Oh yeah, okay.
So quickly, I'm going to choose. I think I'm going to choose. I don't know. What color theme do you guys like?
I guess you want
maybe the second one.
Really to make a change.
Yeah, let's make a real change. Maybe this red.
Yeah, maybe this one.
Let's do that red. Okay. Oh, red.
No, it's not full red.
Oh, it's not full red.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I will let you know. No,
it
works. This
right,
one
good.
works.
So we're just going to kind of simulate the change here, and we're going to say that guy is going to pick up the blue, and these guys are going to get the orange.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's.
Okay. When can we use XD without connection with a Mac? You can, Marc Boucher. It works being offline. You don't have to be connected to the web to use XD.
You do not. I'm gonna just copy this back here. Okay. All right. So quickly, just kind of.
Nico has a good one. He says the library of colors will be updated based on the use in Adobe XD. That's smart.
I like that.
That's smart.
I like how it's added. Okay, so cool. What we're gonna do real quick is we're just gonna make. We don't even necessarily need to make the whole thing. Let's just make this whole mask interactive. Well, actually, let's make it more targeted. Let's go in there and go a little.
Yeah.
Let's go back to design mode. So I'm gonna I'm gonna recreate these at a certain point. But what we're gonna do for now is we're just gonna make it a hotspot. So I've made just like a transparent object there.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do that. Great. And then here we're going to show that this is the version that is actually being selected. So we're going to highlight this one, and we're going to choose a blue here. Okay, so let's walk through it now. I'm going to launch the preview window.
Let's walk through it, and then we have to say goodbye to our friends. But yeah, let's see.
Okay, so I'm going to select the artboard. I see the new remix button. I'm going to hit remix. It's going to show me all the colors, the most popular colors from color.adobe.com. I'm going to choose this Circus 3 theme.
Here we go.
There it is. And my artwork is recolored just like that.
Boo-ah.
Look at that.
So it's a good start. But again, Talin will be back tomorrow, and we will keep working on this feature all together. And
Project Chameleon.
Project Chameleon. We will share the prototype. So yeah, thank you, Talin.
Thanks, Michael.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
but now we want the feature in XD.
Of course.
That's the problem. You have 1 week before Christmas, please.
We're gonna see new posts on user voice. Well, we want that.
Just ship it. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
We will be back in 5 minutes with designers from Digital Telepathy. So yeah, please be back.